time out of your evenings to hop on. I'm so excited. We have a few incredible leaders on our team sharing some of their top tips with us. And so I cannot wait. Really quick though, I wanted to give a few shout outs because I'm going to see if anyone on here so far.
Turn it this way. See it better.
I wanted to shout out
people
who had signed ambassadors this month. I mean, not this month, this week. I know Katie signed someone, actually, I think one or two, and then she helped that person turn around and sign someone, which is amazing. So way to go, Katie. I'm trying to see who else on here has signed someone this week. If you signed someone this week, give yourself a shout out in the comments. It's easier that way than going through and seeing who is who. But we've had so many incredible leaders this week just signing people and helping their teams. I'm just so proud of you guys. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start us off really quick with just a few things that I really believe are like the two of the number one things that you can be doing in your business. I guess that kind of is self-contradictory or whatever. Two of the number one things that you can be doing in your business, but they're so important. And I just want to encourage you in this tonight, because if you're not doing it, or if you're not doing it consistently, it's so important. So the first thing is personal growth. Personal growth is one of the number one things that you can be doing for your business. And when I say personal growth, I'm talking about books. It's personal growth in books. And if you don't like to read, don't let that be an excuse. Just do the Audible version of it and listen to it. But you should always have a book that you are going through. Even just 10 minutes a day, you guys, is a huge deal. Like that's a lot. I mean, in doing that consistently is better than not doing it at all. Don't think you have to be like reading for an hour a day. No one has time for that. Well, maybe you do, but I think a lot of us don't have time for that. And so it's just literally like 5-10 minutes a day of reading in your book or listening to your Audible. But personal growth really, really is key, because the thing is, if you aren't doing it right now consistently, then you will, like, it's not an if, it's just a when, but you will hit a block in your business in some shape, like some way, shape, or form. I don't know exactly what it would be, because it kind of depends, because we all have different areas we need to grow in. But personal growth is that thing that helps you to keep from hitting blocks in your business. Now, I'm not saying you're never going to hit a block if you're doing personal growth. Usually we're going to hit a block somewhere along the line, but you are going to be kept from hitting so many blocks by doing the personal growth. And so a few of my favorites, and I can put these in the comments as well, but for book wise, is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like, that is, I would say, that's probably the number one book that has helped my business, because I read it earlier on and it really helped me to know just like how to care more about people and to love on people. And that is really what our business is all about, is people and helping them. And so How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you're like, if you think you are just bad at helping people, or maybe you don't even like people, like, hey, I've been there. I'm like, I really just don't like people. You can actually get around that, and you can learn to love people. And How to Win Friends and Influence People really helps develop your skill in how to better love people. And then the second one would be Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins. That's a really short read, so it's really, really quick. Third, Pep Talk. Fourth, Chase the Lion? Yeah, Chase the Lion is fourth. And then, hang on, I had one more. Let me pull up my notes really quick. So the other one was just Any Leadership Book by John Maxwell. He has all kinds of leadership books, and he is such a great author. So just encouraging you, grab a book if you don't have a book, or if you have a book or if you're like me and you have a bad habit of starting a book and never finishing a book, get in your book and finish your book, and just be really disciplined with your personal growth, because I promise you're going to be so glad you did. Fallon Black, who is one of the very, very top teams in Plexus. So like either she's on the leaderboard or her team's on the leaderboard. I don't know if you've seen Christina Williams lately, but shout outs on her. She just ranked, she's a diamond, but she's a diamond senior ruby. She just ranked senior ruby under herself. So she's getting close to being a double diamond. And she, like, her business is just on fire. She is on Bound Black's team. Like, she has so many of these incredible leaders on her team. And she was stuck at gold for 2 years, gold ambassador for 2 years. And she will tell you that what got her through that was personal growth. She said she spent a whole summer, which she didn't stop doing her IPA and stuff just to work on personal growth. She did it at the same time. But she spent a whole summer just reading book after book after book of personal growth. And she's someone who said, which I just think is hilarious, that she didn't like people. She's like, I just don't like people. Like, I don't care about them. I just want to make money. That's what she said. And she is one of the top teams in Plexus. So don't feel like if you do feel like there's a block, maybe it's not even personal growth, but a block in your business or a skill that you don't have, and you feel like it's just, you're not going to hit your goals because of it. There's a way around it. Like, you can figure it out. You can learn it. You can get through it. And so her story is, it's all like personal growth was where it was at. And so do personal growth. It's so important. And then secondly, I think this is one of the most important things to be doing every day consistently in your business is following up with people. Fortune is in the follow-up because most people need at least 10, 15 different contacts before they're ready to order from you. I want to go back and see how many times I followed up with Katie Ciccarelli on here, but I don't feel like scrolling through like so many years of messages. Katie just had her 4th year anniversary with Plexus this month, which is so exciting. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not scrolling through. But do you remember Katie or not? You probably, I mean, who knows? Like,
I honestly don't even remember if you're the one that reached out to me when I was sick or if I you. Like, it's literally a fog. I don't remember. Do you?
Okay. So no, I do remember that part. I actually remember talking to you about Plexus before you got sick. I think I followed up with you for 1.5 years because I talked to you and you were kind of like, oh yeah, that sounds great, but basically I don't need it. And I was like, okay, well. And so and so then I think when you got sick, that was another follow-up. And I almost didn't follow up because I just felt like I didn't want you to think I was just coming after you because you were sick and I was trying to like get your money. But I followed up anyway. Anyway, the point of the matter is people need a lot of time to like make a decision. Very, very few people are going to sign up right away. Sometimes they do, which is great, but a lot of times they don't. And so following up really is like the key. Well, and I have a few tips that I actually learned. So Tamara Holloway was on an IPA Power Hour today. And so if you were on there, you heard her tips on follow-up. And so if you're hearing, and then Jennifer Leith hopped on her page just like 30 minutes ago and shared tips on follow-up. And so if you watched all those and you're going to be hearing it again, maybe you'll just realize, hey, it's super important. But I loved what Tamara shared on her call this morning or this afternoon. And one thing she said that you never say, let me know what you think. Like, don't end a follow-up message with, hey, did you have a chance to watch that video? Let me know what you think. Like, don't ever say, let me know what you think. Always end it with like, so that you have control over the conversation. And so it could look like, hey, I'm trying to even think now. It's so hard for me to come up with things out of the, but basically, and what she was saying is she would give them the next, like when she was going to follow up next. So for instance, she would say, hey, once you get the kids in bed, watch this quick video. I would love to hear I would love to hear your thoughts. I'll get back with you in the morning when you've had a chance to watch, and we can chat about it. Or something like that. Or I'll get back with you tonight after the kids are in bed and we can chat about it. But you're kind of you're giving them that time. If it was like a video to watch or testimonial or the party to see or whatever, but then you're letting them know you're getting back with them. And so then it's not like a weird follow-up where you feel like, oh, I'm just being annoying because I'm just following up. Like, you already told them you're going to check back in. And so it's not being pushy. It's not being annoying. You're just following up because that's your job. And people really appreciate it because they just forget. And they like the information you're sending them. It just helps them to know whether they want to do it or no, they don't want to do it. And it's just helping them make that decision. Another tip was detach from the outcome. So if they say yes, amazing. That's exciting. You get to help another person. If they say no, that just means no, not right now. Or it just means not right now because most people eventually are going to try it. and then just be like, okay, it's not the right timing for them. And then just move on. Like, don't take it personal, which is really hard for me because I take things so personally. I'm like, oh man, like you don't like me. I think that I'm really bad. But I'm working at doing better at that, because people, it's not because they don't like you or they're mad at you or they thought you were annoying or pushy. It's just not the right timing for them. And it's just no. And so it has nothing to do with you as a person. It's just not the right timing. So detach yourself from the outcome. And the third thing that can really help with, because I know some of you have said this, where you feel like you don't want to be pushy, or you feel like you're coming across as pushy or being annoying because you're following up too much. But remember this, your friend's plexus testimony is dependent on your follow-up. So that struggle they came to you for, or that reason you reached out to them because they have migraines or they have crazy hormones or whatever they're dealing with in their health, their plexus testimony is dependent on your follow-up, because by you following up and being like doing what you're supposed to, like your job, and being a friend that cares, that's going to be one more follow-up closer to them making a decision to try it and then having incredible health changes because of it. So those are my tips, you guys. 2 number things I feel like are the most important are personal growth, follow-up. Okay, so we have a few other ladies who are going to share there some tips with that. So we have Brooke Tierney. Brooke just amazes me, really. She has so many things on her plate. She works full-time from home on top of doing her plexus business. She's a special needs mama, but yet, you guys, her business is exploding, and I just know she's going to be in Mexico this year as a new plexus jewel. I can't wait. It's going to be so fun. So she is going to share some of her tips with us on what she has found to be helpful in growing her business.
Thanks, Joanna. Okay, so I am currently a Ruby ambassador. I started in June, and let me tell you, I was the biggest skeptic. So Tabitha Jeremy, who you may see in chats, she's my sister-in-law, and she started in October, somewhere around there, of 2019. And so I live half an hour away from her. I thought there would be no way I would touch this with a 10-foot pole. Her and I, fun fact, did not get along before plexus, like at all, which you wouldn't know now because we're like besties. But I strongly believe like follow-up and being consistent are 2 of the biggest things. I'm not going to beat a dead horse here because Joanna already touched on follow-up. But if Tabitha would not have been consistent in her testimony and continued to post about what she was seeing her friends see, and having like the combination of both her testimony and other people's testimony, I would not have been as interested. And I probably would have rolled my eyes even more than I already did, had she not. Sorry. But follow-up is super important. I can't tell you how many times Tabitha and I talked. You can ask her. I asked her like 10 million questions under the sun, like 15 million different ways. And some of those conversations started from me reaching out. Some of them, it was her following up with me. But guys, it took me months and months. Like I think I first talked to her in November of 2019, and I didn't sign up until June, the end of May, going into June of 2020. And here I am, like super into plexus, super excited about plexus and sharing with my own friends and my family and my friends' friends and family. So you never know, a conversation that you have 6 months ago can turn into something completely different. You have no clue. I've had 2 separate instances this week of people who talked to me and like cold stopped me, like don't talk to me about plexus in July, and reached out to me this week and said, I'm ready, I need to do this. And I'm in the conversation with a 3rd one right now. So you never ever know what's going to happen, even if there is a conversation that you're like, oh, that felt weird, that felt awful, I don't like it. Don't be discouraged. Bless, release, let it go, continue to engage with them, continue to love on them. We're in this business because we love people. We're sharing the gift of plexus. People may not choose to accept that gift right away, and that's okay. I think what Joanna said about like detaching yourself from the result is so key, especially for us twos. Like if y'all are a 2, I feel ya. I struggled with that a lot the first couple weeks. First couple months actually, but and still do from time to time. But you never know where someone's at in their life, what's going on personally, and you never know when they're going to hit their moment where they're like, hey, something's got to change. We all had our moments where we're like, hey, we got to try this, just like we did everyone's got their own timeline. So I won't beat a dead horse with follow-up, but super, super important for that reason. Don't be discouraged with the outcome of an individual conversation. And another thing to keep in mind about follow-up is that we think about Plexus 24/7. We eat, sleep, breathe it. We think about it every time we take our own supplements. We think about it every time we're creating content. We think about it every time we're interacting with another Plexus person. We are in chats all day long that's reminding us Plexus, Plexus, Plexus. Like, we eat, sleep, breathe this. Other people don't. So while we're like constantly thinking about like, oh my gosh, this could help them out so much, they have no clue. One, they don't know what they don't know. And two, they don't think about it all the time. Like, just because they didn't respond to your message from a month ago or 2 weeks ago or 2 days ago doesn't mean they're flat out not interested. Like, I cannot tell you the amount of times I've been in conversation with someone and it goes cold. And I'm like nervous to follow up, but I go ahead and do it. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot. Or us mamas, how many of us like set down our phone somewhere and our kid has it and they send a message or read a message? Like, one of my potentials got a phone call at 5:11 a.m. this morning from my daughter. It happens. And just like it happens to us, it happens to other folks too. There are tons of folks, I could tell you at least 6 or 7 off the top of my head, that I followed up, and they would have, if I would have just let it be, we would not have them on our team right now. But because I followed up and did that uncomfortable thing, even when I didn't hear a response back, they're taking the products. Now they may have eventually come back to me and been like, hey, you know that thing we talked about a while ago? But we are all running our own business. And I would much rather someone see me as someone organized and going to help them with their own business by doing the follow-up than let me be. And then it be on me or them to come back to me and bring up the topic 2 months later, 3 months later, when they could have been feeling better 2-3 months prior. So absolutely follow up. Another thing is get organized. Like, you're all going to find your own system. What works for Gina may not work for me. What works for Joanna may not work for me. And that's okay. But find something. It may take some trial and error, but dip your toes in. If you hear of someone that's like doing a fantastic job and you're like, hey, I want to pick your brain on what you do, like, do a little bit of searching here and there. Reach out to folks that you're like very curious about how they're staying organized, or maybe like you know that they've got a life kind of juggling the same types of things you are. Like, I want to pick Joanna's brain of how she handles so many kids running around. Because like today when I was not working my full-time job, I'm like, I don't know how people do this when their kids are running around and there's not any sort of distraction. So I want to pick Joanna's brain, for example, but kind of shop around a little bit and find what works for you. And if something doesn't work, don't give up on it after a day. It takes a little bit of time to build a habit and find out if something's going to work for you. But if something's not working, there's going to be something that happens. But definitely keep trying to find what works for you. I'm still perfecting mine, but I've got enough of a system going that it's working for me right now and I'm okay with it. But one of the things I did want, like a logistical, I like details. I like concrete examples of things that help. So like I brought my favorite tool to tonight's Zoom. So Planoly, Planoly, is hands down my favorite app for keeping organized. And the reason why is I'm full-time, like I have a full-time job outside of Plexus. I do Plexus. Plexus takes a lot of time. Between the two, I'm running around like a mad woman, like all week long. And so I do a lot of my content planning on the weekends. I do a lot of my like photo taking all at once. I'll change my outfit 10 different times and put my hair up for half of them and change my earrings out and get a ton of like pictures done in like an hour setting or a half hour setting. And then what I do is I upload everything into Planoly. So I'm going to pull it up on my phone and show you really quick. So this app is fantastic for uploading pictures that you're going to eventually post. And you can like literally drag and drop and like test out how you want something to look. So I like aesthetics. I like looking like things to look pretty. And so that helps that part of me be a little calmer. But it's also nice because I can go in and I can write a caption like on Sunday that I'm going to post on Thursday. And it saves it in there for me. I can even choose the hashtags I want to use. So I can literally have the picture, the hashtags, the caption, all planned out. And all I have to do is go in and hit post. And it takes not even 30 seconds to go from beginning of getting into the app to it being on my Instagram and then copying it over to my Facebook. It has been incredible time saver for me. Also helps me with being consistent and posting every single day. Don't look at my Facebook this week. I got off the train. I will admit that. I'll be real. But it has been a major, major life changer for me since I started using this app. It's also a great thing. If you see like Joanna post something or you see Alicia post something that you're like, man, I want to use that wording and I want to tweak it a little bit, copy it and put it in your Planoly app on a picture that you have saved that you know you want to use eventually. And then you can tweak it later. But this is one-stop shop. It's a free app. You can set it if you have a business account. I think you have to have a business account to use it and it post over. But business accounts on Instagram, I could talk to the world's end about it. It's fantastic for analytics for data people like me. But Planoly, absolutely recommend. That may not be your jam, that may not be your thing, but it's an example of something to help you stay organized and be able to get stuff into a way that makes it easier for you, where you're working smarter and not harder. So I'll leave you that.
Oh, it's so good. And I love that you talked about follow-up too, because you guys see, like, it is literally like the number one thing. It's so important. And I am so happy you talked about having like something like being organized, having a system with your follow-up, because so many people can fall through the cracks if you don't. What I usually will like, what works for me for the most part, like I've tried different things too. It's just a pen and paper notebook. I have like just having like a follow-up notebook or a reach out notebook, or even just having like a notebook. I have recreated like IPA sheets on the notebook paper. It's like my IPA notebook, and then it has all my people's name. So important. Thank you, Brooke, for sharing that. Loved it all. And I didn't even know about the Planoly. So that sounds incredible. So smart to plan ahead like that. Okay, you guys, Italy was going to hop on and share her story with us, but they're having a snowstorm. She's in Texas, so she can't hop on because she said the service is crazy. And yeah, so just pray for everyone in Texas. I know other people having storms too, but Texas seems crazy. Is there anyone on here in Texas? I can't always remember where everyone's on. Anyway, if you are, put in the comments. But pray for Texas. And then, okay, we are going to have Katie end our call. She is going to share with us some things. And Katie, so this is her 4-year anniversary. I just realized today with Plexus, and she is almost a diamond, you guys. Like, that's incredible. 4 years. And so she is just a phenomenal leader, and I'm just so proud of her. And I can't wait to hear what she has for us tonight.
I'm just over here blushing. Okay. Thanks, Joe. I actually didn't even think about the 4 years. So I've got to make like a special post about that. So that's a great thing to remember. Okay. So Joe reminded me today that I was sharing tonight. So I am not doing really a follow-up theme, but just something she just said, share about something that maybe my team has come to me or I've heard people mention multiple times that seems to be something that maybe people struggle with, or because we do have a lot of new people sharing. Some of you have just started in the last couple of months and you're already almost gold or beyond gold. And maybe there's the nitty gritties that maybe you just haven't had time to process and like learn about. So I'm just going to talk about ranking up and not even just how to rank up. Deb covered that really well last night in our Ruby chat. And if you missed that, it was recorded, so you can watch her there. It was fabulous. And I don't want to re-say it. Like Brooke said, I don't want to beat the same dead horse because she did it so well. But more of what I would like to cover is just kind of some like details about ranking up and what they mean for us that are, maybe you just hit silver, or maybe you're just going for senior silver or gold and you don't even know what that means. Jenny and I were brainstorming today. She has 4 business builders that are just starting out. And she's just like, I don't even know exactly what points to tell them to shoot for. And I'm like, I get that. And we've all been there. And sometimes I'm still like, I got to figure this out because, so just to kind of break down a few of our first ranks. Okay. So a lot of us know about silver. Silver is when you've got 3 friends under you, okay? And it's not, so say I joined in December and I signed 1 friend. Well, come January, that friend needs to reorder plus 2 more friends, or I need to sign 3 new friends to count for 3 orders. So the months at the beginning of the month start fresh. Every single month, it's like a clean slate. Even those of us who are jewels, it's 0-0 is where everybody starts. So that being the case, it's fresh every single month. And the way we keep that organized is just to go into our back office to our points and rank up and organize by subscription. And then you can count all of your 100 PV subscriptions. And that's going to tell you how many orders are set to go out in the month. So say you have 14 orders set to go out this month. That means you're only 6 orders away from gold, because gold is 20 orders. So we're going to break it down. So silver is 3 orders in the same month. And when you hit silver, you're going to get $100 bonus. And right now, if you do it in your first 30 days, you get a $200 bonus for fast starting, which is phenomenal. So senior silver is 10 orders in the same month. And that's orders of a welcome kit or 100 PV. So that's it. It's basically every person under you is equal to 5 points through your first 3 levels. So that means 5 times 10 is 50 points, and 50 is halfway to 100, which is gold. Senior silver is halfway to gold. So silver is 3 orders. Senior silver is 10 orders. And when you hit 10 orders in the same month, then you're going to be paid a $150 bonus the next month. And the cool thing too, if you guys don't realize this, every new person you help fast start any of these ranks, you get paid half of their bonus as well. So if I have my friend Stacy join and she goes silver this month, she gets a $200 bonus because of the extra fast start. So normal $100 bonus for silver. I'm going to make a $50 bonus because that's half of the normal silver dollar bonus just for helping her, not even counting all of my bonuses for each person she signs, not counting any pay points that we get paid off people she signs. So that's a really awesome incentive. If you've got somebody going for senior silver or gold is a $250 bonus. And if they fast start gold, you're going to make 100 and how much money? 100? I can't count. 75? I don't know. Anyway, whatever half of 250 is, you guys can drop it down there because math is not my subject. But basically, you can get half of their bonus, which is just extra. Okay. $150 bonus for hitting it. So anyway, so gold, so silver's 3, senior silver's 50 points or 10 orders. And then gold is 20 orders in the same month. And that's 100 pay points. Okay. And that's a $250 bonus. So those are our first 3 major ranks in Plexus. So something that maybe some of you don't realize is that in the back office, so when we log into our virtual office and we go to our dashboard up at the top corner, if you're on your cell phone, it may be different on your computer, but there is something called like it says, My Business. And when you click on that, you can go to the training center and there is something called a rank up roadmap. And when you click on that, there are videos about that rank. There is a whole like PDF flyer that's like beautiful and spread out so you can look at it. It explains every single detail on how to hit that rank. So I would encourage you to show any new people that are starting to work the business and share, even yourself. I would encourage them to go in there or you to walk them through over the phone, show them the rank up roadmap, and then also explain how that they're going to hit that rank because it's just going to help them break it down. They can screenshot that PDF, they can save it to their phone. And then as they have people join under them, they can send it to them as well. So it's a really great tool that I feel like we kind of underutilize. There's also lots of videos on getting a new ambassador started, even with just their products, but also with sharing the business potential, the income and how it is all broken down, how we get paid 11 different ways throughout the month. So those are really great resources that we have in our back office that I feel like sometimes we just kind of forget about. There's even a video that talks about how to set up your Engage app, which we're needing to be doing with every new person because they have those 3 free samples as soon as they join. So anyways, I was going to show anyone that was new how to do this. I feel like a lot of us that are on the call aren't so new, but basically you just log into your back office and then at the top left corner, there's like 3 lines and you'll click that and it'll go to My Business. And then it's going to go to the training center and you should just explore around in there for a while, like literally set a timer for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and let yourself just go through there, watch some of that content, screenshot some of it to save to your phone. But another really cool thing in the training center or in My Business is rank advancements. So now as you have people growing under you, it's sometimes hard to know, like, how do we know when they're ranking up? How do I know how many people have signed? And maybe they're one person away from their goal and you don't even know it. If you go to your rank advancement section in your back office, it actually tells you a whole list of anyone who has signed. So if they're brand new and they've signed 2 people, it's going to say they're a senior ambassador, which is just means they have 2 people, and that they're 1 away from silver. And so that's a really easy way to kind of start keeping track of all your new people as they're going silver, or if they're senior silver, because otherwise you just have to dig out every single person that's under you and got to look at like all their new ads and where they're at. And it's just a lot more work. Whereas they have this organized in the back office. And I feel like some of us don't know about this. I'm kind of guilty of not digging around in there as much as I need to. Another great tool is that they have what's it called? It's like a fast start section. And so you not only can fast start silver, you can fast start every rank. So if you are in your first 30 days, and it breaks it all down, so you have a certain timeline to fast start the ranks throughout the months. And anyone who's still eligible for a fast start is going to be in your fast start section when you click on that section in your back office. So just be looking through these things. These are just the nitty gritties. Maybe that's not so much fun, the fun part of the business. I mean, honestly, I'd rather be over there in that Planoly app and organizing my Instagram feed to look all pretty. And I cannot wait to dig through that, which Brooke was talking about. But this is the kind of thing that like we just need to know about so that when we are training other people, we feel like we are empowered to be able to explain at least the first couple of ranks to people. And as far as like the different ways of getting paid, I was going to go into that, but I feel like that's just a lot to just tell everybody. But I'm going to post in the threads a compensation plan video, a couple of them for you guys. And I would encourage you after the call or tomorrow sometime to go back through and watch them and maybe even take notes. So when someone asks you when they're first starting, okay, so I went silver, what does that mean for me? And so that you can just be like, okay, that means you've signed 3 people. You're going to get $20 bonus for each. You're going to make, $200 bonus for fast starting. You're going to make about $13.50 for the pay points and all those things, which may be foreign language to you right now. But you should be able to spit out that information in an easy way, at least for the first few ranks of the company, so that you feel very empowered to just share that with them. And so they are learning from you as well. So you're not both feeling like you're, trying to keep your heads above water. So hopefully that was helpful. Just get in the back office, dig around under the my business portion. There's a lot more categories that are really, really helpful. There's a ton of shareables. There's product guides that talk about the ingredients. There's things that are in there for just virtual training and product ingredient training and testimonials. So my little assignment to leave you with is just to try to get in there and maybe drop something that you've learned maybe over the next couple of days in our chats, just to kind of share with others that maybe someone else has missed as well. But I hope that was helpful.
So good. Yes, I love that you talked about that because you guys, your virtual office is like a wealth of knowledge and it's all free. Like it comes with your membership that you pay each year. We pay $40 for our membership, or if you're brand new, you're only paying $20. And it all comes with that. And it is just incredible. And when I joined 6 years ago, like none of that really was there. So it's so cool to see all of the things we have now for our resources and to really help us to succeed. Okay, you guys, I'm going to open it up for questions really quick, and then we're going to end this call. But does anyone have a question? And as we are seeing who has questions, I would love for you to drop in the chat what rank or pay point amount you're going for by the end of February. So if you're pushing for a rank, I would love to hear so I can cheer you on, or maybe you're in between ranks and you're pushing for a specific pay point amount to move you a little closer to your rank. I'd love to hear. But does anyone have any questions about anything we talked about, anything I talked about, or Brooke or Katie? Unmute yourself and ask. Any questions? No? We're good? Okay. Senior silver, yes. Jacobed, so exciting. Ashley's going for gold. That is huge. Gold is a huge push. Brooke is pushing for 550 pay points. Yes, I love that. Jenny, 350 pay points. Ashley is going for silver. Hannah's going for senior silver. So exciting. I remember when I went ruby so vividly because it was February, and February is 28 days. And so it's like so short. And so it's a little scary. And so I always remember because there wasn't enough point, like it didn't update, the back office didn't update. So I was like, did I make it? Did I not make it? And so I actually didn't technically go Ruby until like a week after, because they had to say, yes, I did in fact hit the points because there was some type of glitch, but you guys have got this. So really quick tip though, for anyone pushing for a rank, since the 28th, it's the last day of the month, and that is the last day that subscriptions go out, and that's a huge subscription day. I like to offer people free shipping to bump their subscription back a few days if I'm pushing for a rank, only because that gives you a few extra days for them all to run, so you can know like, okay, this is how many I need, instead of waking up on the 20th. If you have a bigger team, waking up on the 28th, and then maybe some orders declined or different things, and then you're like really like the last couple hours, and it's really scary and it's not as fun. So that's just a tip. But you guys, I'm so excited for you all. Gina is going to bump up to 150 points. Yes, you are totally doing that, girl. Okay, well, I'm so proud of you all. I'll let you all go. Thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you, Brooke, for sharing, Katie for sharing. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe, and we'll see you all soon.